Hi, I'm Craig Poxon from Hydrogyrum, the developer of Met Alarm Pro. So here we have our Android environment with the application freshly downloaded from the Play Store and installed, and I'm going to launch the application. The first time the application launches, it is going to connect to the Met Office website and download a list of approximately 5,000 locations for which forecasts are available. The locations are cached in the application database so that they are available for use in the future, and you won't be required to download them again. This demonstration is being run inside the Android emulator running on a PC, so it is somewhat slow. It should run much faster on your Android hardware. Now that the locations have been downloaded into the database, well, the first thing we're going to do is set a location, and we do that by clicking on the location line anywhere on the line. This is going to open another window that has two tabs in it. The first is name, and we can look up a known location by name in a predictive entry. So if I start to type, you will see a list of suggestions, and we choose one. And if we click location, it closes the dialog and sets our location. Alternately, we can do it via the map. This is a standard Google Maps that everyone is familiar with. And we can place our location on the map by zooming in. Clicking on the map will place a place mark, our little Android chap here, and you can move that to a more precise location by clicking on him, holding down the mouse, holding down selection. Of course you don't have a mouse on Android phones, and dragging him to where you wish to have a forecast, and then letting go, and then choosing set location once more. When we return to the dialog, we'll briefly see the GPS coordinates, the latitude and longitude, and they'll be converted to the name of the nearest place for which a Met Office forecast is available. The next thing we wish to do is select the time that we want the alarm to fire. I'm going to set this a few minutes ahead. Once we've selected the time, the application will populate 5 rows, and each row corresponds to a specific time for a forecast in the future. The Met Office issues their forecasts in 3-hourly blocks, and the next one after the time we have here of 21:30 is midnight, and it follows on after that 3 AM, 6 AM, 9 AM, 12 PM, etc. So what we need to do is click our first row here, the midnight row, and this takes us into the page where we can set the parameters for which the forecast is going to fire, the alarm is going to fire. We can see we are presented with a list of all the things that appear in the Met Office forecast. We have wind, that's the speed in miles an hour of the wind. Gust, that's the gusting winds above the nominal wind speed. Temperature in degrees C. Feels like is another temperature which is factored in with the wind speed, which adds wind chill. UV, ultraviolet rays, this is the radiation that is being received from the sun. Humidity is a percentage between 0 and 99. Visibility is words that associate with the range that people can see. Chance of rain, again a percentage, 0 to 99. Weather type and wind direction, I will leave those are special cases. So if we choose wind, we're presented with a dialog. You can choose options here, as you can see, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or between. The first 4 entries, only the first box can have text entered it. This one is disabled. But if we were to select between, then the second box also becomes active. Obviously that's a ridiculous value, so we're going to take that back to less than, and then when we say OK, this information is then passed back to our page here and stored. So the rest is fairly obvious. Let me just pick out a few of the different ones. For visibility, as I said, it's words, it's phrases relating to the visibility here, which ranges from unknown through very poor, poor, moderate, good, very good, and excellent. So we'll say between very poor and excellent. Okay. Chance of rain is a percentage. It's actually precipitation, so it could be hail, snow, as well as rain, any type of liquid that falls from the sky. Weather type, here we're presented with the dialog which lists all of the different weather types that the Met Office place in their forecasts. There is some code in the application that will determine whether it is daylight or nighttime at the time you are selecting, based on the location and the time of year. And when it has determined that, it enables this dialog to disable any of the weather in options that would not be applicable at that time of day. As you can see, we are unable to click sunny because we're doing midnight here, and obviously sunny would not be a particularly useful weather type to select at midnight. What we can do is select things like clear sky, partly cloudy at night, etc. And once we set that, it's OK, and we see the weather types reflected on this page. Finally, wind direction. We can choose which of the directions the wind is coming from in our rules. And remember, the wind direction, the name of the wind direction is actually the opposite than it points. Once we've completed our rules, we set that. This now takes us back to our main page, and we can see that the rules that have been selected are now listed for us to see. So what we could do here is we could go into the next time period, and we could set the same or different rules for that time period. If you want to set the same one, there's a very easy way to do it. What you do is hold a long click on the rule. Here you have the opportunity to remove it altogether, to just clear the entries you've made. You can add a new one at the end, but what we're after here is copy, so we say copy, and then another long click on the next time entry, and then we send paste. So here we have our rules set. I'm going to leave these 3 time zones at the end here without any conditions set in them. What happens is when the alarm fires, it shows you the forecast for the day for any time zone that has been, time period that has been selected in this page here. So if we leave these on without any conditions applied, we will see the forecast for it when the alarm triggers. So I'm just going to adjust my time. If I set it for the same time, it should fire straight away. So I turn the alarm on. So I've just skipped ahead a little bit here. I've simplified some of the entries that I have just in order to guarantee that I'm going to get the alarm to trigger. So all we have is one rule at midnight which says the wind is less than 99 miles an hour, and hopefully that's how it is today. So enable the alarm. It's a little bit slow because we're on the emulator, but the controls will disable to prevent changes. The forecast will be retrieved from the Met Office website, compared against our rules, and if they match, the alarm fires. And here we see the alarm, and we can hear it sounding as well. Now I'm just going to dismiss this for a moment, go into the menu and the settings, and just turn the volume off. It's a little bit annoying when I'm trying to speak and explain, so go back in now, switch the alarm back on, Just wait a few seconds for it to retrieve the information from the Met Office and determine that the alarm should fire. There we go. And now we have the window back up with the alarm sound disabled, so that I can just quickly talk about this window here. So we have the title, the location of the forecast at the top, the column headings there, we have the time down the left, and we have an entry per rule that we had on our main screen there. So for every row we have a time on the main screen, we will see one in the forecast here. This is so that we can see a full view of the day when the alarm goes off, or as much as you wish to see. Next column is the weather, icon representing the weather type. As we can see, a combination clear skies at night here, followed by sun and then cloud through the day. We have the temperature. This is just standard temperature, not the wind chill affected feels like temperature. In the middle column we have the wind. This indicates the direction that it's blowing. The central number on the white is the mean speed, and the number in the red box is the gust, and these figures are in miles per hour. Next column is precipitation. That's hail or snow or rain to you and I. As you can see, pretty low today, 5%. And finally the visibility. Pretty good visibility as well. So we have the option to snooze the alarm here. This will snooze the alarm for 10 minutes, but I'm actually going to just dismiss here. Once the alarm is fired, the button automatically switches off because the alarm is passed, and we can once again edit the rules for our alarm. I'm just going to go back into the menu so that we can see the other settings we have available. We've already seen volume. We also have sound. This allows you to choose the sounds, the file that is played when the alarm triggers. Because we're on the emulator here, we don't have any installed, so we're not able to see that. But clicking that would bring up another dialog with a scrolling list of all the tunes that are available on your device that you can select. Vibrate, fairly self-explanatory. If that's checked, then when the alarm fires, the unit will also vibrate as well, as another indication the alarm is firing. The volume and the vibrate are mutually are not dependent upon each other. You can set none, one, or both of those. And finally, we have the no network option. Should the phone or device lose contact with the network and is unable to check the forecast with the Met Office, what will happen is if this option is selected, the alarm will trigger anyway, so it will act as a normal alarm, and it will also inform you that the weather was unable to be retrieved, but that you wish to be awoken anyway. And if any error should occur in the application, it will also trigger the alarm if this option is set, so it's a bit of a fail-safe. So there we have it. That's an introduction to the Met Alarm Pro application. Thank you for your support. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know on craig@poxon.org. And if you find any bugs, let me know as well. Thank you.